bless the house. You gotta say thank you to the room. Thank you to the room. Thank you to the Pops. Thank you, Pops, for being so patient with me today and this whole process, because we're getting there. We're getting Is it sad that I do most of my filming on the floor? Like, it's just this little sad. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Admiral Funko and today I'm actually going to teach some organizing skills. Organizing skills? Can I say organizing skills? Organizational techniques. Let's go with that. So this is probably my 8th or 9th video documenting the organization process of this massive collection. And one collection I know a lot of people wanted to see was my Disney collection, and I have yet to go through a step-by-step process to possibly help you guys better understand how I organize and better understand how to help organize your collections, especially when you're dealing with something as massive as my Disney collection behind me. It's about 4 deep, and all this right here is my Disney collection. So I'm going to go over step by step on how I accomplish organizing a collection this big, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys. I'm not going to do a time lapse of this one. It's mainly for educational purposes, but I'm going to show you guys every step, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many steps it goes. And yeah, we'll see if this is beneficial. If it's beneficial, please like, subscribe, and of course put the comments down below. What was the most beneficial about it? Organizing large collections is very difficult for, I would think, anybody. It's even difficult for me. I mean, I've lived in this apartment for 9 months and I'm still not organized. I mean, come on. Like, just now, getting there, skimming the surface. I mean, it took me 2 weeks to organize my Batmans. I mean, I got like 89 of them, but you know, it's a lot of Batmans to organize. But if you do find something helpful for this, please like and comment what your favorite part of the video is. I am trying to create more dynamic videos and more interesting videos and informational videos for you guys so that you get more out of it than just a time lapse. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Let's get started with the tutorial. Tutorial? Is it a tutorial? Might as well be a tutorial. So the first step in the process, I always like to clean my space. I'm not going to show you the process of cleaning the space because it's obvious. Make sure you have a nice, clean area to work in. That's always step one because it's just going to make the process so much more easier, and you know, you're not stepping on tacks, nails, cats, you know, because I'm usually stepping on a cat because, you know, Loki. But always make sure you have a nice, clean space in order to sort your Pops. It could be on a table. I usually do it on the floor. Anywhere that seems easy enough for you to organize your Pops. The next step is normally something I highly recommend to anybody who has a large collection or has a small collection that is growing, is find space for your collection. When you don't have space for your collection, it becomes more of a hoarding kind of situation. A lot of people do call me a hoarder, but it's more of like OCD and hoarding put together, I guess you could say. But I like to consider it organized hoarding. But one thing I always do is I find an adequate space to fit a collection. I look at the size of the collection and then I determine where it will fit best in the room and where it will fit best going through my collecting phase. Like with my DC collection and my Marvel collection, it is on the longest wall in this space, which is behind the camera, and it actually has collections next to it that are easier to move out of the way because Marvel and DC collections tend to grow a lot faster than Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, or any of the other collections. They also have the most characters to them currently, I believe, in Funko Pop wise terms. I think they have the most characters that you can find is in the Marvel and DC universes, so they have the most wall space. For the Disney collection, however, it can be as large and is getting just as large as the Marvel and the DC collections, so I am thinking about the future of my Disney collection and have decided to put them on the wall behind me. And there goes a cat. Hi! What's up? Am I doing good? No? So the next step in this process is clearing the space where your collection is going to go. After you have identified where you're going to put your specific collection, make sure that you clear it free of pops, because it's going to make this process just a little bit easier in the long run for you. I have chosen that the shelves behind me will hold my Disney collection, so I'm going to clear them off real quick. It's Orion, everybody! How often does Orion make the cut? So the next step in the process, after we've cleared the space where our collection is going to go, we need to make a decision of how we're going to organize our collection. Me, I have my collection organized in a variety of different ways. My DC collection is organized starting with the number 1, and then I have all the Batmans until we hit number 2, Robin, and then we go on to number 3, and then number 4, and so on. So I keep the characters in the DC collection relatively close together because there's so many Batmans. That was the key deciding factor in this case for me, was the fact that there's like, I don't know how many Batmans there really are, but I have 85 staring at me right now. And there's more on the floor that need to be organized into the collection. There were so many Batmans that I had to organize by character for that collection. You can organize from 1 to however many boxes that you have, but me personally, for my DC collection, I decided to do it by character. My Marvel collection, however, is organized starting with the number 1 and going to 439? 439. I don't have 439 Marvel Pops, I have about 325, but based off box number, that's how I organize my Marvel collection. For my Disney collection today, I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's organized starting with the number 1 and going to however many that I have, because there's going to be a lot of them. And the simplest way that I have found to organize by number is going to be a very simplistic process that I'm going to show you. So give me a second. Join me on the floor. Step 1 when you're on the floor, remove the cat. Easiest way that I found to do it, especially with my Marvel collection, I found out late in the game when I was organizing it, is to separate it by number categories. And what I mean by that is that you have number 1 to 100, and you separate those into one big category. And then you have number 101 to 200, you separate them into a category. And then you have the 200 boxes, and then the 300 boxes, 400 boxes, and so on. This gradually makes your collection size smaller, so you have little itty-bitty groups. Because I know for a fact in my collection, I don't have 1 through 100. So it's literally separating each little category together and then organizing within the category. Whew. I explained it right for once. So if you see pops like this, for me, I have 71, which would go in the 1 to 100 category. I have 162, which would go in the 100 to 200 category. And then these two are 270 and 242. They will go in the 200 to 300 category. Alright, so I'm going to get to organizing and separating into categories, and then I'll show you how I separate the big categories into smaller categories. So now that that process is complete, I'm going to focus on the first 100 pops, and only those 100 pops, because if I start focusing on everything else, you know what I mean? So, one way that I recommend doing it is you can start separating again by categories, or you can start searching 1 through 100. What I do to kind of save time is I use the space that is allotted for the Disney collection. So this whole space is allotted for this collection. Just don't mind that stuff. I forgot to move that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start plucking off of this stack here, and on the top, right on the top, we have 80 and 70. So I'm literally going to put 70 right here and 80 right there as place markers, hoping that maybe it might get that far, maybe it won't get that far. And I slowly start to organize that way because it gets them up on the shelf, and then of course it helps me get to other pieces like number 1, number 2, number 3, and it helps the organizational process go a little bit faster. So I'm going to work on this pile, and I'll see you in a minute.
And every moment counts, baby, I don't want to miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
So this took me literally just about 5 minutes to do what you see behind me, where I've organized them into their tenths. So 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up to 100. I got them all sorted into those categories, and I still have some on the floor, but I got it to where there's only one layer on the floor, and now I can start organizing. The only conflict in this whole collection is the Wreck-It Ralph collection, because I believe Wreck-It Ralph belonged to Pixar before Disney and Pixar became one, because they have a completely different box orientation system, but I organized my Wreck-It Ralph collection with my Disney collection. So I organize Wreck-It Ralph first, and then I start with Mickey. That's just how I do it. If you want to do it that way, that's completely up to you. But in the Disney collection, number 1 is Mickey, so we start with Mickey.
Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
So, little side note, don't lose your motivation, because I have recently just lost my motivation. It is warm in here, and I am now looking at what I have on the floor and the shelf space and feeling like I made a mistake, because I may actually have to shift the whole Disney collection over to this wall so it can wrap the whole corner. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but I'm going to continue on organizing, because this is about 80 pieces, and none of the other collections are that size. So hopefully 1 through 100 is the largest part of this whole collection. So I'm going to start doing the same process with 100 through 200 and see how far that gets me. So I'm actually very happy that I encountered this issue so I can share this issue with you guys. I actually chose a space that is not big enough to withstand the entire Disney collection. I chose a very small wall. Now, I do have 3 collections that are fairly big. The DC, Marvel, and Disney collection are the 3 biggest collections in the whole of the mass collection. But right now, I really just want to get these organized and off the floor because there's a whole bunch of pops on the floor and it's going to prevent me from starting the next project. So even though I don't have enough shelf space, I do have a blank space of wall right here, and I'm going to continue to organize the pops numerically, and when I reach the end of this shelf system, I'm actually going to put them down here until I can figure out what I'm going to do with the collection. Right now, I feel like I'm going to incorporate the Disney collection from this wall all the way around, but it's just getting to that point. It's just getting to that point of moving all the animation, the Dragon Ball Z, and all the anime pops to a different location. And I don't want to do that in the middle of moving all of my Disney pops around. So one project at a time. And yes, my cat just knocked over Thanos. Thanos, you got taken out. Done, boy. Done, son. Orion. Who would have thought? A little black kitty cat named Orion. That was actually a loud thud. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I hope my neighbors aren't mad. Sorry, buddy. See, I mean, I was talking about it in one of my other videos of how these shelves are gonna be. Because there's a window there and the cats want to get in there.
From the get-go, let me be frank, I'm not that complicated.
And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it brought some knowledge in the way I do things and hopefully help you organize a very large collection yourself. And stay tuned at the end for a complete tour of my Disney collection. And at the end, there's bloopers because there was a ton of bloopers. Bye, everybody. Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet. Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. Organize all the parts. Yeah, parts. Organize all the pops. Oh, come on. To do it. No. I wait for the cat to come in and interrupt me. Hi, Loki. This is just crap, isn't it? I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'm laughing because of the blooper reel. This blooper reel is gonna be intense. I'm looking at the reference. The reference is literally right in front of me and I'm not even using it. Run away! Of where all the pops... However they feel... So the next step after... the next step... Off of all the pops... What's up, kitty? you want to call it. Not let your organizational skills lack, and you wouldn't be in this fucking position in the first place. But then you wouldn't have a video explaining to everybody how you organize your collection. Yep. But crap, I'm doing so good too. Oh, yeah. Next to me. But first, I don't know why I'm telling you.